My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Into the Breach. At the very start of this episode, the first thing I am going to do is this. Options. Edit hotkeys. Then reset turn is back. End turn? Let's not have you on that. Is there E? Can I make you E? Yeah, all right. You are end turn on E now. Confirm hotkeys. We're never going to have that happen to us ever again because that crushed my soul. Anyway, it's time for a new game. So, I wanted to go on with the next squad. The next squad is the Steel Judoka. These mechs specialize in positional manipulation to turn mech against one another. Now, the really interesting thing here is the passive on the gravity mech. Enemies do 1 extra damage against other enemies. So, normal scorpions, as is seen in the graphic that is currently displayed, normal fireflies and normal hornets are going to deal 2 damage to other enemies, which is so much more important because otherwise they wouldn't really be significant. It would be really difficult to take down alphas without using other alphas. And even then, alphas typically deal 3 damage and a lot of alphas have 5 HP, right? So the extra damage from Vec hormones is going to be significant. It's what, in my opinion, will make this work if it does. Now, past that, we've got Gravity Well, which is effectively like the attraction pulse from which squad was it? The attraction pulse from Zenith Guard, Defense Mech. The attraction pulse pulls the target 1 tile towards you, except it is an artillery, so it will go over other units, and it will therefore enable you to pull a unit into another unit towards you. So pull the furthest unit from you into a closer unit next to you. Also being artillery, it means you won't be able to use it against the target that is next to you. Then there's the Siege Mech, who has cluster artillery. You do not damage the target that you do not damage the position that you target, or rather the tile that you target, but you do damage all of the adjacent tiles by 1, and you push them out. So it's a really good way to defend buildings, but furthermore than that, it is going to be a really good positional tool. And Judo Mech, Vice Fist. So we've obviously seen Vice Fist. It was in my last run, but it is grabbing a unit and tossing it behind you. That is going to be super handy. The Judo Mech also comes with armor and 4 movement, as well as the Gravity Mech has 4 movement. That extra movement is super important because if you can't move very easily around the map, how are you going to position your enemies? So the different achievements that we have are: have mech armor absorb 5 damage in a single battle. Likely going to occur just accidentally. Unwitting allies, have 4 enemies die from enemy fire in a single battle. That's how we win as this squad. So that's how we're going to be playing. Because like the Judo Mech's Vice Fist does 1 damage and the Seed Mech does 1 damage with the cluster artillery, right? So if I need to kill something instantly, I'm not going to be able to do it, right? If it has more than 2 HP. So instead, I'm going to need to focus all on positioning and getting them to fight one another. I mean, that's literally the entire point. And master placement, push 3 enemies with a single attack. So that's just going to be a siege mech that's targeted in the middle of 3 different enemies. Savvy? So, Time Traveler. We've got to decide who we want for this. I've got Prospero, and I was actually considering using Prospero here. The primary reason that I would use Prospero for mech gains flying, it does need to be powered, so I would need 1 mech reactor to use it, but mech gains flying is... I would use it on the Judo Mech so that the Judo Mech always has freedom of positioning. If there's water there, I'll still stand there. But at the same rate, how big is that? How significant is that? For the final mission, where there are going to be, lava pits in the middle of the map, oftentimes, quite significant. For the Detritus Corporation, where there's all those acid pits, quite significant. Other than that, not really too significant. So I'm worried that maybe I don't go with Prospero. Let's have a look at my other options. Okay, we've got Ralph. Nope. We've got Camilla Vera. Mech is unaffected by webbing and smoke. That could totally be it, right? Because the Judo Mech is going to need freedom of movement, and being unaffected by webbing is huge. Absolutely magnificently huge. There's also Kazakh Pleth, 2 damage melee attack, replaces a repair. Yeah, probably not. Mech starts each mission with a shield, probably also not really that useful for us. Henry Kwan would be useful on the Judo Mech as well, but I think webbing is going to be more of a concern for me. Archimedes, shoot again after shooting. Because the thing is, if the Judo mech is webbed, the only way that I can really stop that is by throwing the webbing target, or by depositioning the webbing target by using a siege mech or a gravity well, which is going to make it more difficult because I expend those freeing my Judo mech to set up a turn where I can actually get all of these enemies attacking one another. That said, I do have 2 other ways to free the Judo mech if it was webbed. And the siege mech targeting the Judo does no damage to it and pushes all the enemies away. Ooh, okay, hang on. I'm starting to get much more of a respect for Henry Kwan, maybe. Mech can move through enemy units would be super useful. Deploy anywhere on the map, damaging adjacent enemies. It's fine. It's not bad. Mech can act twice if it doesn't move. Mech can act again, move again after shooting. Again, all of these are fine. I actually think I need the positioning. I think I'm going to go with Henry Kwan. I think I've talked myself out of what I'd actually drafted beforehand. And Judo mech, yeah, you should definitely be in all black. Siege mech, you should probably be blue. And gravity mech, I see you as a white. All right, let's go. As for which island we should go to first, I think the burrower would be really, really difficult for me because I won't be able to actually move the burrower. So I think going to the Archive Island first so that I don't ever have to deal with a burrower is going to be a good start for us. 1, 2... unfortunately, I can't get all of the 2 rep stars. Destroy the dam, kill at least 7 enemies. Destroying the dam is actually going to be difficult for us, so instead I'm going to go for this. Because all of my attacks only deal 1 damage each. So destroying the dam would require 2 actions, which sometimes is going to be too much. Okay. Oftentimes it looks like I'm going to throw them into the water, so we'll go for these. No, the gravity mech should probably... Yeah. That said, if I move the gravity mech over to here, you can't be webbed. How would I deal with a scorpion attacking this civ building? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I just toss them over me. That's fine. This scorpion can't... There's only one can attack one of those civ buildings. I'm just slightly concerned, but I think this is actually how I want to start. Just so that these webs can't be super effective. I could also just move Judo over. Do I want them to attack buildings, or do I want them to attack me? Obviously, I want them to attack me. All right. There we go. Delightfully expected. Attack order. Yes, you do attack first. So if I Judo mech throw this target to here, you will deal 2 damage to this scorpion. That is to say, the scorpion in C6, if I throw you to C4, you will then attack B4 before B4 does anything, and you don't push. So that already looks quite good to me. But the problem is I need to do 1 extra damage, otherwise this scorpion's not going to die in time. And I was... Oh, I know. All right, Henry, you do your throw. Siege moves here. Gravity mech pulls you 1 forward. Now... Oh, that collision... I thought I was so clever. It's going to deal 1 damage to the scorpion, but then it's also going to collide with this scorpion and deal 1 more damage, which is going to prevent stopping this initial scorpion. I thought this was so clever, but I'd forgotten that cluster artillery is not the artillery, the Artemis artillery from the first squad. This was also going to push the Firefly out of position. All right, this is really early to use a reset, but I did bollocks that up majorly. So I do have the ability to just pull each of these away from where they're trying to attack currently. But then I've got 3 more spawning, and life becomes much more difficult. Airily almost certainly has to target this space to knock the Firefly into the drink. Because other than Henry moving down here... Hang on. Maybe Henry can move there. Henry Kwan moves here, you can literally just throw the Firefly into the drink. Thinking about displacing this. Okay, the only person who can displace this Scorpion is Nicola. Because if Arely goes over here in order to bomb this space and push the Scorpion 1 down, I mean, that's literally not possible, right? So first off, that's not happening. I can't move back here and then bomb this space to push you across. If I bomb the C5, I push you further up and then you still attack a building, right? I want to see, does Arely... Yeah, Arely would be destroying a building by going for that shot. So I would have to move you up. So the result of all of these actions would be a 2 health Scorpion, a 1 health Scorpion. No, it wouldn't be. All right. Got him. Ah, woo! All right. Kill that Scorpion for me. That took a little longer than I'm proud of. All right, you're already dead, thankfully. You aren't. Nor are you. And you're already dead. All right. So considering this for a second, I can kill this Blood Scion by just having the Siege Mech come over here and then punch you. Rather, punch this space, the Eve 2. It does 1 damage to the Blood Scion and pushes it up. Collides, does another damage. And then I can have Judo Mech come up here and throw the Scorpion into harm's way. Seems by far my best turn. Because the tides occur before anything else, so all of those units are dead before anything else occurs. I can also just block a space here. But since only 1 enemy is going to be on the map next turn, maybe I actually don't even do that. Maybe I don't block any of the spawns just so I can get some extra experience in the early game. Yeah, that's it. So I'm actually going to pull you off of blocking those spawns so that I can get some extra experience. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. It couldn't be easier to throw you both into the drink. So maps like this, where positioning is the most important thing, seem to be the giant strength of the Steel Judoka. So I should try and choose those missions where available. Your mechs look almost untouched. Almost? Pretty sure they were. That's a relief. It'll allow us to assign repair crews to reinforce the refugee shelters instead. Oh, that's because end the battle with less than 4 mech damage. Got it. Archivist Hall, defend the tanks. I do need to upgrade this to ally immune because that is going to actually be important. Buildings immune for cluster artillery is also going to be really important. Vec Hormones has upgrades. Okay, so +1 damage and +1 damage again. That is ridiculously important. Good lord. Well, I should do these 3. Okay. I'm gonna put the gravity mech over this side so that I can try and pull into the drink this way. We just need 2 turns to defend those tanks. Sure. Moving Arily up here and then bombing will push this Scarab into the drink as well as push this Scarab over here, doing 1 damage. I can then actually go and throw the Scarab. Actually, hang on. This would light the forest on fire, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't want to do that. I can pull that Scarab first. But how does that benefit me? There has to be a way to kill both of these Scarabs this turn without lighting my own Judo mech on fire. There is. It's do the same turn I was going to initially do. And then use the gravity mech to pull you back into a position where you're about to die. And do that move so that I can move further. And we're also just going to throw the Blood Scion, which actually probably doesn't matter. No, wait, the Blood Scion doesn't get its own bonus, so it will still be on 1 HP. Whoa. I don't know what the hell is going on when my game keeps tabbing like that. It's happening in a bunch of my games at the moment. Like, just that weird random cycling quite quickly. So, Arily can also come over here and do a bomb. Pushes you over here, does 1 damage. I can then throw you back to this space, doing 1 damage, and then you'll block a spawn and deal 1 damage. Okay. That's really good. And then this one was always pretty much just going to be pull you out of position. Unfortunately, these archive tanks aren't massive, so I can't put them into the water. So here we have a spawn blocked plus an enemy dying as a result. And now the archive tanks are online, so this mission's just become trivial. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I can stand here and I can throw you into the water. It's not difficult at all. I also have the option to come over here, push you 1 space down, and then pull you into the drink. And then this Scorpion, I'll just push 1 space away. Is there any way to kill all 3 of them that I'm missing here? This kills 3 and it blocks a spawn for the next turn. I think we're safe doing this regardless. Like, ooh, boy. Like, even if this isn't definitely the best move we can make, actually, we've got this. That's the best move we can make. Hell yeah. Figured it out on the fly. Even if it wasn't the absolute best move we could make, it was going to be good enough to be fine. Alright, this is super easy. 1, 2. Love it. Like it, love it, want more of it. Alright, let's go down to the Accord repository. End with less than 4 mech damage. I mean, we have to do this one so we can get to the other corporate reputation mission. Oh, this one's going to be interesting. These missions are always super RNG heavy, just based on, are the enemies going to murder themselves? Y/N? If Y, then well done. Mm-hmm. 1 down. 2 down. Do I have 4 movement on this gravity mech? Because if I do, I've got to kill. Yeah, I do. I can just move down here and then pull you. Is there any way I can do that without expending this old earth mine? Because the siege mech can kill this scarab and burn that space, which means that no one else will, I choose to stand there. Unfortunately, the attack order is such that the scarab is attacking first, so I can't just put the firefly behind the scarab and watch it. No, this does seem like the best thing I can do. I'm gonna get in a better position. Just leave myself there. Easy dead. I may actually want to use Arily over here to push you into the drink and to disconnect this so that I can free up the Judo mech, because otherwise the Judo mech's not doing anything this turn. It's like the Judo mech can throw one of you this turn, sure. But how am I really benefiting from that? I mean, I can have Nicola pull this. Then Henry throws this Scorpion. The Scorpion takes 1 damage. The Scorpion on the bottom deals 2 damage to this Scorpion before it attacks. And then this Firefly goes in the drink. Actually, that's probably our best move. Alright, 1 level up. And it's Mech Reactor. Hell yes. That's what I like to see. Sure. Now, interestingly, Siege Mech can actually stand here, push the Firefly 1 space forward, it'll light on fire, it takes 1 damage, it takes 1 damage to the fire, and then it takes 1 damage when it blocks this spawn. It's just stopping this Firefly that's a problem right now. So if I can free Henry by moving Arily over here, pushing this Scorpion up and this Scorpion across, then my Judo mech can move 1 space up into F3 and just throw the Firefly into the drink. Which means we literally just have this Firefly to deal with and this Scorpion to deal with. That's actually probably better. You attack a mountain for me. We've got 2 spawns next turn, but one of them is going to be on fire. It's an annoying space to have threatened. By standing here and dropping a bomb on this space, I actually kill this Scarab because it takes 1 damage to the artillery, and then it also moves across, it takes 1 damage to the fire. And I also block the shot going against the coal plant. Oh, I have an even better way of doing this. Hell yeah. Alright, we'll do the same thing. Whee! And end the turn. Yeah. So we take 1 damage, but all but 1 unit dies. That seems pretty good to me. Beautiful. If we can get this perfect island, I'm going to feel pretty good about myself. 1 mech reactor. Unfortunately, we haven't got a pod yet, so I can't charge up that cluster power. So instead, I'm going to put that into move, and then later I'm going to take that out and put that into buildings immune. Defend the satellite launches. Is that going to be easier or harder for us than destroy the dam? Destroy the dam, like, destroying the dam is difficult, but then using the dam to kill all of our enemies is going to be easy. Defending the satellite launches actually, to me, seems like it could be a problem. Just because the siege mech is going to deal damage to it. Oh no, but I can just target the satellite launch and everything will be pushed away. All right, we're going to go for the satellite launch in Ohmtown. Now, I believe there's actually a guaranteed time pod on the first island, so I think we're getting one regardless of what I do here. But I'm not entirely certain. It's just I believe that to be the case. There's the time pod. Good. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to make these units target one another. In fact, it may actually not be possible. So I can deal 1 damage to all of them by moving 1 space forward and then having No, but Arily, if you move 1 space forward, I can't target that. The thing is, if I want to target the forest tile space... Yeah, if I want to target the forest tile space, I'm going to destroy the time pod, so it's a bad idea. I can kill a few enemies this turn at the cost of 1 of my own HP, and that would be Arily comes over here. Then the gravity mech stands on the time pod, collecting it. Then Arily fires forward. It does 1 damage to Nicola, and it also does 1 damage to Arily. The Scarab takes 1 damage, and then it runs into Arily and does another damage to itself. It dies. Then Henry can just throw this Scarab, and then the Blood Sign was left on 1 HP. I take 2 damage, but I collect the Tide Pod super early. That's what we do, yeah. That also unlocked mass displacement. I wasn't even thinking about that. Also set that on fire. It's going to limit the positioning of my enemies. Is there any different order I could have done that in, which would have allowed me to also damage the Blood Sign? I'll leave you there. Actually, you can just heal as well. That's handy. Lovely wee bit of Scotch and Coke going on at the moment. If I pull the Blood Sign forward, it's actually going to light on fire and die before the spawn, so I'm not really benefiting that much from it. That displaces this Firefly, does 2 damage to this one. 1 damage to one of my own units, but again, that's not really a concern right now. That kills all but this Firefly in the distance. Yeah, this is a good play for us. Right, our buildings aren't immune yet, so that's actually really dumb. I thought the buildings were immune for some reason. Okay. We're gonna need to spend a little longer thinking about this now. I can kill with just a pull on the Blood Scion, or alternatively, I can just ignore the Blood Scion. It dies. It's going to die. My concern then becomes, how do I stop this? What was that? All right. See, unfortunately, the move that I want to make requires Arily and Nicola Kim to be on the same space. Because Arily would fire up here, right? That pulls the Firefly down, does 1 damage to it. Then Nicola would go back around the side and pull, dealing 1 damage to this Firefly and dealing 1 damage to this Firefly, but you still live. All right. That's a bad turn anyway. No need to mourn that. Where is my best turn? I can't target either of the buildings because that'll deal damage to the other building, right? I can target my own mech, but that'll deal 1 damage to this satellite rocket. The one that hasn't launched yet either, so taking damage against it is much, much more contentious. Alright, I think I know what the... No, but if I push you down, I'm still not helping. How do I block your attack? I can't push you down because then you're still targeting something, right? I can't push you across this way because the mountain's blocking me from doing that. The only person who can stop this Firefly from targeting someone is the Judo mech standing here and throwing you behind me. Or rather, that's the only person who can do it in a single action. This has become a lot more difficult than I wanted it to be. What if I came up here and moved you 1 up? Then Henry moves to this space and throws the far Firefly into your current space. You stand next to one another now, and you're still targeting something. Unfortunately, this Firefly acts after you. Damn. I can then just move Arily up and shoot this space, dealing 1 damage to the Firefly and dealing another damage to the Firefly. And this Firefly, each of them is on 1 HP. It's not enough to kill. Whew. Boy, this is a spicy turn. It's not spicy because it's super difficult. I think there are a couple paths I've already solved that would allow me to take 1 damage against a satellite launch or something like that and still be fine. But the thing that makes this turn really spicy is if I want to get everything out of this turn so that I am capable of dealing with the 3 spawn that's coming up in the next turn, I'm going to need to be pretty precise. I don't think there's a way for me to do it right now. I think I'm leaving 2 units to live. That's garbage. All right. Well, the best turn that I can figure out right now has my gravity mech moving up here, pulling the Firefly one space up. Then I have my Judo mech move to this space, which blocks the spawn. I shoot the space where the Firefly currently is, which deals 1 damage to this Firefly and moves it out of line of sight of any building. And then that also deals 1 damage to Henry by pushing Henry into this Firefly, which also deals a damage. And then Henry throws this Firefly over myself, which makes it kill this one. All right. If I want to not block that spawn and not take 1 damage on Judo, I could actually just do the throw first. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Okay, that doesn't kill. Good to know. Forgot about the Scion regeneration, didn't I?
Well, see, the thing about that is, fuck.
Okay. If I target this space, I can kill the Scarab and I can free Henry. And I also displace and burn this Firefly. Henry can move through enemies. So I would be able to then go 1, 2, 3, stand here and throw a Firefly. Like, I won't be able to get to this Scorpion is the problem. I have used my reset, so I need to be much more careful right now. What I'm worried about is, since there's, like, I don't even care if you make that damage, that attack. I don't care if you make that attack. I don't care if you make that attack. All of you can make your attacks. That's fine. It's these two that I need to worry about most. And unfortunately, this Firefly is in a really crummy position for me. Because look at where Airily can, like, do things. That destroys a building. That destroys a building. In fact, it destroys 2. Let's undo that movement. That destroys a building. Like, I'm gonna have to use 2 movements to get this Firefly down. And that's the real problem we're facing right now. Like, Nicola is probably going to have to stand here and do something at this rate. This is not good. This is not good. And then the Judo mech literally does nothing. Well, literally. Okay. Figuratively does nothing. I would be throwing a Scorpion for 1 damage. I don't want to take building damage on this this mission yet. Yeah, Airily dies if I do that shot. Which is a shame, because otherwise that would be a pretty good shot. This webbing is actually really frustrating. What was my previous idea? It was this, right? Doesn't solve any of my problems is the problem with that. This is our big problem right now. Because I took that 1 damage earlier on airily, I don't have the best option, which would be this. Deals 2 damage, 1 by the artillery, 1 by the collision, and then the Scorpion dies. And unfortunately, airily actually already has a level up in Mech Reactor, so sacrificing airily as a unit is probably not a great idea. There's so many units on the map. Unfortunately, that Blood Scion thing fucked me. Like, really badly. It did the regeneration in time to save this Firefly's life, and this Firefly is what's causing me all of this drama. Like, I can target this square safely, so I could just have Nicola come up here, pull the Firefly up, and then Siege goes across and targets that square, kills the Firefly. But then I'm doing nothing to the rest of the map. This garbage, this web is the problem. Sure, Henry takes no damage this turn, but also does nothing this turn, and I can't let all of these units live on the map. There's 5 of them. I actually can't see any way to disengage both of these. This is really concerning. And I also can't even stand here or anything like that. See, the fact that we got this, the time pod on our final mission meant that Airily still hasn't had access to buildings immune for cluster artillery, which right here is just fucking us. There's very little else that can be said here. It is causing this huge problem. So I can pull you that space, I can pull you that space. Both of them, you're still targeting a building. I don't know. I really don't know if I actually have a solution here. Can I stop either of them? Because this guy is also really rough to stop. Like, I stand here and then I can push you 1 space up. Yeah, that works. If I could somehow find a way to push this Firefly 1 space down, then I could actually have the Scorpion attack. No, but the Firefly attacks first. So yeah, it's still not good. I think we're taking a grid damage this turn. I can't spend 1,000,000 years on this turn. So I can have that Firefly die, but after it targets a building. So at least this helps me control, because that Firefly dies, and then this one is going to die to its burn in the next turn as well. You're already dead. The problem is all of the enemies act before the missile launches. So I can pull you one space up and just get you away. I, in fact, can't judo you away from it. I can prevent this scarab and this firefly with the same movement. That's airily comes over here and targets that. But I can also do this. And that's actually even better, because then this scarab still dies before it does any action. See, protecting this launch means that this firefly needs to be displaced. I can displace it here, but if I displace it with the judo mech, that building is going to take damage. And we've already kind of eaten shit on buildings taking damage this turn anyway. Like, I'd rather not do that again. Because of the attack order, I can't use this firefly to kill the scarab, unfortunately. My other action is here. Which will actually have that scarab kill Arily. So it would be... I can't do that. Wow. Well, I just learned a thing, so that's good. It's good to learn. So the best displacement it looks like Arily can do is the displacement at C1. It pushes the Scarab up, the Scarab takes 1 damage, the Scarab gets lit on fire, the Scarab takes the fire damage at the start of the next turn, the Scarab never hits anything. This Firefly is depositioned, it never hits anything. This Scorpion is depositioned, it never hits anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I haven't got a position where the Judo Mech can do anything though. And even if I move my Henry to this space first, and then throw this Firefly over myself, how do I then disengage this Scorpion? Like, this Scorpion seems like... In fact, for that Scorpion, it seems like the only disengage is what? This? Which pushes you to engage a different building. Or Nicola coming over and pulling you 1 space up. I'm taking damage to another building. I don't really have a choice about it. God, I hate this. See, even if I went to the space where the forest fire is and then threw you over me, I'm throwing you into a ground tile that's still targeting a building. And I don't even have the opportunity to body block. Yep. The fact that we had to go so far flung for the prior turn because the Judo Mech was locked in this position and was incapable of moving because of the webbing really fucked us. I think I should have taken the mech that couldn't, the mech pilot rather, that couldn't get webbed. I think I needed to do that, and I didn't do that. It's my mistake. All right. At the very least, we're still technically a perfect island. That's all I need to care about right now. Grid power will come and go, but those missions need to be completed so I can get the end upgrade. We got Wind Torrent. Push all units in a single direction. Ridiculous. Any class. All units. Look, I think that's mostly going to be negative for us right now because, like, unlimited uses is there because, sure, you can use it as many times as you'd like, but oftentimes you're going to be pushing people into buildings. Because unless they run into a building, not a mech, because the mechs will move as well. Unless it runs into a building or a environmental obstacle, this doesn't change any, or the wall, right, the borders in the map. It doesn't change any of their positioning with reference to one another. Let's go to the corporate HQ. It's a Beetle. Alright, so we're gonna need our Judo up front, so they can just try and throw the Beetle pretty much all around the map. Beetle doesn't look like it's going to do anything particularly interesting. Oh, it will light the paths on fire, of course. I forgot about that. I'm likely to actually get my Beetle, my mech up here and then firing down on this line. And then Gravity Well just has as much positioning as you want. Okay. This is a problem. I can move myself here, throw... That's not good. See, the problem is the Beetle Leader, when it charges, is actually going to charge into a unit, deal damage to the unit, then push the unit back. So I can't put any... Like, I can't just move it here and have it kill the Scorpion for me, because it then will also damage the civilian building behind. Unfortunately, the order of actions here is really shitty. If the Scorpion was acting third, I'd be able to move Henry down to this position, throw the Scorpion over myself into the path of the Firefly. It takes 1 damage to the throw, the Firefly shoots it, it dies. However, the Scorpion is acting second. Oh, I've got to play. So I throw you over myself. No, I don't have a play. I thought that was a play, but it's not a play. It did look a lot like a play. Actually, it still could be a play. It doesn't kill anyone this turn, though, which is always the sign of not a play. Nicola, with 4 movement, would you be able to prevent this? I don't think you would be. It's a problem. I throw you over, then I would be... Nope. I would be bombing this space with Arily in order to push the Beetle Leader up. The Beetle Leader takes 1 damage. The Beetle Leader then runs into the Scorpion at the start of the next turn, killing the Scorpion, lighting no tiles on fire, and leaving yourself in that position. And then the Firefly takes a shot against that building. It might be our only move to kill a single unit Deal 1 damage to the Beetle Leader. I guess I could just body block the shot from the Firefly using the gravity mech. Alright, that's what we're gonna do then. Ouch. Fine place to charge. Just don't web my gravity mech. That's a webbed gravity mech. That's actually really interesting here because the Beetle Leader is going to charge. It's going to attack the Scorpion for 3 damage, killing the Scorpion. Then the Scarab is going to target the space where Nicola Kim currently is. That's really intriguing. And we can set it up as well. Airily targets this space. It does deal some more damage to Nicola, but I think this is a great move. Right? You attack you kill. Then, that is to say, the Beetle Leader attacks the Scorpion, kills the Scorpion. Then the Scarab attacks the Beetle Leader for 2. Yeah, you usually do 1 damage, and then we've got the pheromone thing going on. So I could actually just have Nicola run away and heal. And I will. One kill. Non-a-shiny mountain. 2 damage. Beautiful. Hell of a lot of units on board. Well, see, the problem here is this Beetle Leader, what I really want is them to be in that position of the Scorpion, which means that I'd want my Judo mech to be standing right where this Scarab is, so that I can throw the Beetle Leader into F3, then it targets this Firefly up at the top, killing it for me. It also means that this Beetle Leader would take 1 damage to being thrown, 1 damage to the fire at the start of the next start of its turn, and then again 1 damage to fire at the start of the turn after. So it would be dead. It would be dead. See, this is a good turn. Or rather, it could be. We could have Nicola do that pull. Deals 1 damage to each of the units. Then this would kill this Scarab and this Scarab. We would have 1 Scorpion left on 2 HP, standing here. But then 2 buildings are still threatened. That's the big problem. The buildings being threatened. Okay, where could Nicola move where I could pull this Scorpion out of position? Because it can't be here. See, the problem is Nicola would want to move to where Airily currently is. That's how that turn would work. I do this. And then Nicola would need to somehow move this Scorpion away from where it's currently standing without moving it along F line. Difficult. Difficult puzzle right here. And the reason that would work is because the Beetle leader attacks at the start of its turn, so I would actually just be able to have Henry come down to the space, freed up by this dead Scarab, throw over the top, and then go up. But Nicola, for movement, you're still not going to be able to do it. You are webbed, not going to help. I can still do it. No, I can't because Nicola isn't freed. I was thinking, okay, Arely moves up and targets here. Actually, that does free. I'm doing it. Then Nicola moves over here and pulls you. Then Henry is going to come and throw the Beetle Leader. The Beetle Leader takes 1 damage to the throw, takes 1 damage to the fire at the next turn, but before the Firefly shoots, is going to kill it. No building damage goes through, and the Beetle Leader is effectively dead. The Firefly is dead. These two have their actions. Perfect. See that Firefly, the Beetle Leader now only has 1 HP remaining? It can do that, but it's going to die before the action actually goes through. It can commit to that action all it would like. It's not going to affect anything. So if Henry stands here... Henry can't even stand there. Henry can't move. Henry can't do anything. Not without help. Like, I can kill no units this turn, save for the Beetle Leader dying to fire. I have that as an option. I'm just looking if there's any other options I have. If Nicola moves here and then Arely moves there, I can kill this Scarab by dealing 1 damage to myself. That also diffuses the web. So that's some free experience right there. Just some solid free real estate. Oh, sorry, experience. No, Nicholas should have moved down here because then I could have done 1 damage with the pull and then thrown now. Okay, we'll actually reset the turn because that's an extra kill. One damage from the throw, you'll lit on fire, you'll take 1 damage. Both of those units are going to die and we just leave the Scorpion on the map. Beautiful. All right. I like this squad. The episode's going to be super long for this squad, by the way, because there's a lot of thinking to do. And I am not up to the task, but I'm trying. I've lost so many people this island. 24% of people are dead. All right. Range class weapon. Launch 2 missiles, damaging and pushing 2 targets. It does 3 damage and it uses 1 per battle. The positioning for setting that up is difficult, but it would be really powerful if I could use it. That said, hang on. Aren't you you are holding wind turrets though. Move again after shooting is something that I'm looking at. Because it doesn't, like, you don't have to use that as, oh, I moved, I shot, and then I moved into, like, a safer position. You can actually look at that as basically an allowance right, for your positioning. So you get to move, shoot, and then get back to a better position to fire from for the next turn. That would go on the gravity mech. Because Henry Kwan definitely needs to be in the judo mech out of our currents. You know what? This is for dealing damage, but that's not what this squad does. This squad puts people into position to hit one another. Taking Archimedes. Archimedes, get out of there! It's filthy. Electric whip, no thank you. Interesting, but no thank you. Sidewinder fist is actually considered. Because the thing about a judo mech is if I'm using Vice Fist for the throw, I can't move a unit to next to where it currently is, right? I can only move it 2 spaces from where it currently is because I need to stand 1 space and then throw it over me. So it is 2 spaces from where it originally was. Its original space, my space, and then its new space. So this would actually allow me, with the fact that I've got all of this positioning, courtesy of being able to move through enemies, this would allow me to actually utilize the Vice for not only extra damage, but also better positioning. I think Sidewinder Fist is actually the take. I think it's Sidewinder Fist 2 reactor cores. If I get rid of a wind torrent and then actually Archimedes as well, I have the ability to get another reactor core. It's probably not a great idea though. I could actually pick up just 2 grid power here. Attraction pulse, we already have one. Sorry, bud. The problem is Confused Shot is amazing. Who would hold the Vec Hormones at Wind Turret? Confused Shot is amazing. I have to take it. So I'm taking Confused Shot. I'm selling Nicola Kim. I'm selling Wind Turret. And I'm taking 2 reactor cores. The Gravity Mech loses the Vec Hormones, takes the Confused Shot. You've now got 1 floating energy, which I can then use for the Fire and Forget. And then I need to pass this off. Which now means I should do... Sidewinder Fist isn't even charged. I should probably undo the second power on that. So now we have Sidewinder Fist and Vice. We have Cluster and Vec Hormones. We do need to upgrade this as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of upgrades on the 1 person here. And you will never really need reactor cores. You've just got Fire and Forget, and then if you get reactor cores, they're going into your move and health. That's fine. I'm actually quite pleased with that. Perfect Island. Sure, we lost some power grid, but... full stop. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Into the Breach. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all my content of the game, past, present, and future. If you do like the video, please click like. It does help me get my content out to new people. And, as always, subscribe for more in the future. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.